What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we, the people, choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Do you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
Come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
All right, is this thing on? It looks like it's on. So, as you can tell, I am in a different studio altogether. I am here live from Washington, D.C. We're trying to work out all of the kinks before tomorrow's State of the Union. I'm here with the people at Rumble. I'm here with Ashley, here with Robin, and we're going to try and get through a show today. I'm already hearing something in my ear that I'm not supposed to hear, so I'm just going to put that down for a second because it's going to drive me crazy until I find out where that video is coming from. So as long as you guys can hear me, it's fine. I'm not sure today if we'll be able to do comments. Let me just check that and see if I can somehow do comments. Nope, I'm not going to be able to put comments in today's show. Anyway, like I said, we're trying to work out the kinks. We are here live in Washington, D.C. First time I've been inside the Rumble Studios. They've been so gracious to host us. Getting ready for the big show tomorrow night. So let's start off with what has happened over the weekend. You know, most of you, more than likely, are patriotic Americans. You didn't need a label like MAGA. You knew who you were. You knew that you stood for the red, white, and blue. You pledged allegiance to the flag for a very, very long time since you were kids. But after this weekend, something changed. It completely changed. It started, you know, I posted something. Let me see if I can bring it up here because it started, I would say on Thursday and or Friday. Pete Hegseth went to work out with some of the troops. I don't know if you guys saw this. And I said, MAGA is freaking out soy boys and beta males by Pete benching 315 pounds. Not sure if you saw that. Kash Patel chugging beers with patriots that just won a gold medal. We end up seeing somebody, we're going to talk about this, somebody getting wasted up at, Mar-a-Lago trying to penetrate the walls of Trump's home. We saw what happened in Mexico with everything that's happening, and we helped. We had a part in that, so they know at this point the Americans are there. We are We took Maduro. We made sure that the Western Hemisphere is becoming more safe and prosperous, which is the antithesis of what all these people on the left feel. All these people on the left feel that America should be brought to heel. It should be brought down. We don't deserve to be the preeminent country in the world. And to that, we should all give them the double-barreled middle fingers, as Dan Bongino would say. We are America, and we saw on a grand stage this past weekend what America really means, what America can be. We took home the gold medal, not just the men's hockey, but the women's hockey team did as well. We showed dominance, not just in those two sports, in other sports as well, the figure skating. The red, white, and blue was raised all over the place, and the people who went to the Olympics that were trying to talk crap about America, they didn't do so well. And so now tomorrow night, the American hockey team will be at the State of the Union. And everybody is freaking out because Kash Patel drank a few beers with some guys in the locker room. When every single one of you saluted what you saw, had no problem with what you saw. And it was funny, I was at lunch today with Ashley and Robin, and what the main issue, and Ashley nailed it, is they don't want another toxic masculinity surge happening in this country, as if it ever went away. They think it went away. They got a whole bunch of limp-wristed beta males running around. But now other people are seeing what it means to be a strong man. Other people are seeing what it means to be a winner in America. Think about that for a second. Ever since President Trump won the first time, and it became more amplified the second time, strong America equaled bad. Masculine, strong men equal bad. We want you to lump off your junk. We want you to put on a skirt, and then we don't even know what you are, but we're going to call you a woman. And you can go ahead and compete with the girls. Put on a skirt and, play girls field hockey. Put on a onesie and go swim in their pool, you wimp. And all of a sudden, in one fell swoop, boom, it changed. It absolutely changed. We saw the prowess of America once again on display, unabashedly, unashamed. That's what we're supposed to be. And what do the Democrats have to counter that? Nothing. And that's why I just keep telling you guys over and over, they've got nothing. Nothing whatsoever. And so they're going to keep fighting. They're going to keep trying to tear down America, while we're going to do everything we possibly can to uplift America. And that's where you come in, because right now, the panicans, the rhinos, the black pillars, the doomers, they're recoiling. They're trying to run away from you at this point. They can't understand how it is that we want to see all of this stuff. I want to show you some things. Let me see if I can get everything working here like the way I want to. But I've got a couple things to show you. First thing I want to show you is this. Is it this button?
1 minute. 1 minute. And by the way, your goalie played not bad.
Howie, say hi. Howie, say hi to him.
How you doing, Don? I have seen hockey goalies have slightly worse games. Unbelievable, and you were all unbelievable. And that team is pretty good you played. I don't know if it's not going to begin anytime soon, right? And, I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest.
We're in.
Yeah.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning. Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
I'm gonna let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union.
The nice thing about being president is I can tell you, you don't have to worry about the weather or landing. So we don't care if it's snowing, if it's the worst blizzard, you'll be sailing through that city just like you did at the ice track.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now, we'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay? But anyway, if you could work that out, I would be honored to have you. I'll introduce you to the whole...
I got it, boss. I got it.
Okay, you got it, Cash?
The Lignets are pissed off that Cash Patel's in the locker room, hanging with the hockey team, drinking beers. The boss calls in and says, you guys got to come up to the White House. You got to come up here. You got to be on display as we have the State of the Union. Meanwhile, the idiot libtards right now, what they're doing is doing everything to take away from the State of the Union, which is fine with me. I don't know if you guys seen this. Let me see if I configured this correctly. Yeah, my picture's not in there, but I want you to look at this. As you're looking at this right now, you are seeing where the Democrats supposedly have pride. Well, they don't have any. This number was from Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, we found out they don't want to be Americans. Only 30% of Democrats have any pride in America. 31%. That means if you go to work tomorrow and you're around 10 people, 7 of the people that are Democrats don't like America. Now I'm going to show you something, and if you don't like expletives, if you're someone who gets all torn up inside when you hear people say bad words, I want you to hear this. I think it's important that you understand who we're up against. This is the only message that the Democrats have.
Fuck Trump. Vote Juliana.
Fuck Trump. Vote Juliana.
Fuck Trump. Vote Juliana.
They said it, not me. I'm Juliana Stratton, and I'm proud to have lived my whole life on the south side of Chicago. I'm not scared of a wannabe dictator. I'm running for Senate to stand up to Donald Trump. I'll abolish ICE and hold Trump accountable for the crimes he's committed. Just like they said, fuck
Trump.
Fuck Trump.
Fuck Trump.
Vote Juliana.
That's why I approve this message.
What was the message? You guys could let me know. Tell me what the message was. You're going to help people with taxes? No. You're going to lower the crime in Chicago? No. You're going to bring the Chicago Bears back to Chicago? No. You're going to help people feel safe in their homes? No. Going to, stop gang violence? No. Well, what the hell is your policy? What are you running on? F Trump. How does that help a single person in Illinois? F Trump, huh? But the panicans, doomers, and black pillars tell us we're going to lose the midterms. To what? How the hell are we going to lose the midterms and we don't really have anybody running against us? You're telling me that there's a whole swath of people, an overwhelming amount of people at this point, whose only thing that matters to them is F Trump. Okay. Well, it seems to be spreading because then I heard this one. You ready for this one? Here.
Simple, powerful message that we can all agree on. Say it with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. That's right. Fuck Trump.
What does it take to get on stage in front of people in public as a person running for an office and hold up a sign, F Trump? And then what's it like to have so many clapping seals who are okay with that as a message? How are you going to get back and forth to your F Trump conference? What's your gas prices like? What's your home heating oil? What are the prospects for you making money? Shoveling snow in New York? What are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do for your family's life, your children's life? F Trump. That's it. That's all you got. That's all I got. And we're supposed to be losing. I wanted to show you this. This is like how many people have decided to sit out the State of the Union.
No, 100%, and that's exactly what President Trump can do, because this is the message that Republicans are going to take out to the midterms. The notes in which he echoes tonight will be exactly what you hear Republicans say on the stump. And you keep in mind, this is a president that's going to be out there. It's almost as if he was running for election. They're going to have him on the campaign trail. I'm expecting the president to deliver in a way in which the American people expect him to, presidentially, and tell them what's in it for them. What has he done over the course of a year? And I can tell you, he's accomplished a great deal cleaning up the mess of Joe Biden's presidency, but there's much more to be done.
So tomorrow, what we're going to be looking at, just so you guys can be prepared, is not your ordinary State of the Union address. See, I think the Democrats, as normal, are making a huge miscalculation. They are completely screwing up. Here's why. Tomorrow is going to basically turn into a Trump rally with no dissenting voices, with nobody there to complain, with nobody there to say F Trump. If that room is void of Democrats, which I hope it is, all we're going to hear is the messaging that you want to hear and most Americans want to hear, and he can turn it in with the hockey team and everything as a complete Trump rally. I don't know if people are understanding that. Bring on Lee Greenwood. Bring on the opera singer. Sing Nessun Dorma right in the halls of Congress. Do it. These people they're waving the white flag. They've acquiesced. They think they're going to do a counter programming event, sort of like what Charlie Kirk's TPUSA did during halftime, except nobody wants to hear from them anyway. That's the part that they're missing. The people who aren't going to be listening, the people who aren't going to be sitting there, nobody cares. You've miscalculated America again, as usual. And it goes further than that. It goes into our sports writers. I saw this. The Trump administration's actions, particularly as it relates to ice, force some Winter Olympic athletes into an awkward position. How do you represent a country that doesn't represent you? And she actually wrote an article. If you're familiar with who Jamel Hill is, she's a race-baiting idiot. How do you represent a country that doesn't represent you? Don't effing go. Stay your ass home. Lose your opportunity. Don't go on a grand stage and embarrass yourself, which you actually did. They think we need them there. We don't need them there. They need to be there. It is the classic JFK. Ask not what your country can do for you. You need to see what you can do for your country. We don't care whether you go or not. If you are going to get over there and besmirch America, F you. Stay home. We don't care. We want winners. And that's what it is all about. Let me show you this one. What is this one? 1 second. Let me just pull this up so you guys can see it. Working on a different thing here, so I got to make sure this is correct. No, I just ran that one. This one. Okay, hold on. All right. Then you get the governor of California, and this one needs no words. This is the most stupidest thing ever.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. maybe the wrong business to be in.
A 960 SAT guy, which means he's kind of stupid, which makes it another thing. How insulting is it that he said, I'm kind of like you guys? You black people, you kind of stupid. I'm just like you. But of course, he's a Democrat, so he can say whatever he wants. What you got? I'm not muted. You might be a couple seconds behind. Check. I'm seeing green. Okay, yeah. See, it's the first time I've ever done something with another person in the room. So Ashley's sitting right back there. She said I was muted, but she was a couple seconds behind before I caught it. But anyway, like I said, we're trying to work out the kinks before tomorrow. So in addition to that, this I don't know if you saw Scott Strickland. Scott Strickland said some things the other day that were as raw as you can imagine. Scott Strickland, MMA fighter, and he called Bad Bunny every single name in the book, including the F word as well. And they didn't like that. No, they didn't like that either. And so at this past weekend at another MMA event, they decided they were going to try and corner Dana White. That didn't work out too well.
What he says during media day and things like that doesn't affect your booking of him, right? You are still happy to put him in those?
It's a nightmare. But you guys don't help. Asking them dumb shit, ask dumb shit, you're going to get dumb shit. What'd you think of Bad Bunny? What'd you think of the Super Bowl? Get the fuck out of here. You fucking kidding me? Yeah. So when you talk about what Strickland says, you guys like to push the buttons.
Exactly. What they want to do is to be able to push buttons and make people feel bad who don't think like they think. So they think they're going to ask a question, what do you think about Bad Bunny? So understand, you're walking into an MMA event, one of the most testosterone-laden events anywhere. And you just saw a guy beat the crap out of another guy. You've seen his prior speeches where he's like saying everything he wants to say. You've heard Dana White say before, I am not putting any man on a leash. And yet you still decided to ask this fighter, what do you think about Bad Bunny? And you got the answer that he wanted to give you, and it made you recoil. You cannot understand that masculinity supersedes your idiotic questions. It's coming back, people. It's coming back in a vengeance, and they can't stop it. And that's exactly why they're trying to stop it, because they see it slipping away. Oh, yeah, we're losing the midterms. Yeah, tell me that. Tell me how we're losing the midterms. Anybody? When all we see is winning happening all over the place. These people are in such defensive, and I could see if they had something to say, but the biggest thing they have to say is F Trump. That's it. All right, so I got to show you a couple of things. I'm using different monitors and everything else. Let me just bring this up real quick. If you haven't seen this, I can't play the music because it's got copyright, but you can see the video. And in this video, Justin Trudeau had put up a stupid tweet a while back that says, you can't take our country and you can't take our game. Okay. And somebody put this meme up with President Trump in it. It's awesome. Just take a look at that. Yeah, he just beat the crap out of the Canadian players. I like it when he gets to the fight scene. We're coming up with the fight scene here. Probably one of the best AI meme videos I've seen in some time. Yeah, take him out on the boards. Now it's time to fight. They didn't like that at all. They didn't like that one at all either. Masculinity. I guess that's what the theme of today's show is that masculinity is back, and we're not taking your crap anymore. So before I've got a video of President Trump this morning. I'm not sure if you've seen it, and I want to show it to you. But let me first let me bring this stuff up. I want to show you. It's way over there, so far away. This one. I use this for my thumbnail today as well. And it says, for all the kids who see this photo looks like something from the 80s or 90s. This is what America felt like back then. It feels so good. Let's keep it up. So that's Jack Hughes, I believe is his name, the guy who scored the winning goal. And minutes before he scored the winning goal, he got hit in the face, right in the mouth, with a Canadian hockey stick. Broke 2 teeth, left his blood all over the ice, got up after being smacked in the face with a hockey stick. After he lost 2 teeth and left it in Milan, those teeth are laying in the ice somewhere, he scores the winning goal, and what's he do? America, bitches. America. They don't want you to see this. They don't want you to celebrate this. But we have to, because this is how we win it back. This is how we take it back. We need to show people our resilience. And if I'm telling you right now, if he can leave 2 teeth in Milan, what are you prepared to leave? And then I want to tell you real quick here. I'm not going to do any commercials today. We're just testing all the equipment and running through this. I want to segue into what's going on in Mexico, because this guy wrote a post that to me says everything. They didn't just kill a drug lord, El Mencho. They killed a deep state general. El Mencho was untouchable for 30 years. He had drones, armored vehicles, landmines. He shot down a military helicopter. The CIA looked the other way. Why, you say? Because he wasn't just moving drugs, he was also moving children. Funny. All the Democrats screaming about Epstein hadn't talked about El Mencho once. And this guy was trafficking kids like he was delivering groceries to Walmart. On Sunday morning, Trump's intelligence led Mexican special forces straight to his door in Tapalpa, Jalisco. He died in the helicopter like a dog. $15 million bounty collected. His son, life in prison. His daughter, arrested. His empire in flames. Right now, his soldiers are setting fire to buses in Guadalajara. They are pulling people from cars. They are panicking. Good. Yes, I applaud that as well. Good. Panic. This is the sound of a dying empire, and it's not just the Mexican empire. This is a deep state empire. I want you to know, just like with USAID and all these NGOs and all these programs that Trump has systematically turned off, this one in Mexico is another, probably, arguably the biggest. And so people are sitting back screaming, but they don't realize all of the things that he is doing, the huge wins that he's compiling almost daily. Again, I want you to take a look at the end of this, and it says, Trump took out their money with tariffs. Trump exposed their blackmail network with the Epstein files. Now Trump is taking out their muscle one by one. This isn't politics, this is war, and the snakes are losing their heads. In case you're wondering why they're saying F Trump, why that's their only cause at this point is to say F Trump, is because he's tearing the Democrats down. I love the way he's doing it. First, he's turning off the money. Then he's turning off distribution. No more kids. No more people coming across the border, which is why I believe we keep seeing people taking shots at him. I don't know this young kid from Adam. I don't know who he is, don't know anything about him. But he had to have been disturbed, and somebody put him up to this. I'm talking about this last one in Mar-a-Lago. And did you notice, when was it? It was Saturday? Early in the morning, Sunday morning, 1:30 in the morning. And by 1 o'clock, nobody was talking about it. We're treating potential assassinations on a president like it's just old news. We heard Savannah Guthrie's mom for 3 friggin' weeks. But they took that off the front page very quickly. Nobody wanted to talk about it. because they want it to happen. They want him gone. They want you gone. And people better wake up. I heard some people talking about how did he get that close to Mar-a-Lago? Let me give you a little heads up. Mar-a-Lago is the boundaries are on the west side, the Intercoastal Waterway, and on the east side, the Atlantic Ocean. Those are your boundaries. So Secret Service can do anything they want, but there's a road, Ocean Drive, that goes right up and down in front of Mar-a-Lago. You are basically closer in Mar-a-Lago than you are to the White House, which we just happened to see. So I can tell you that. There are big barriers up in front of the White House. There are big barriers up in front of the Capitol. We saw them this morning. I'm like, wow, they still got everything blocked off? Yep, everything's still blocked off. You don't have that at Mar-a-Lago. Basically, if you get on Ocean Drive, you are already at the perimeter. And so this young man decides he's going to do what he wants to do and get closer to the perimeter and shows up with a gas can and a shotgun, and he got dead. The question is, what did you expect to happen? How did you expect people would respond when they saw you? I don't know. You're going to die. And of course, the Democrats can say, can't you just wing him? No, that's not how it works. You get dead real quick. There's no war games here. Everything they're doing, I think you've seen unfold this past weekend, is just completely bad for the Democrats. I want to show you this tweet. Let me hit the button here. The weird thing is that when this is complaining about Prakash Patel, the weird thing is the Democrats actually think this is a bad look to celebrate our country. I guess when you hate America so much, you become blinded to what real Americans like. It's about time we celebrate America rather than trying to tear her down, assassinate its president, like the Democrats do. God bless Cash and God bless Team USA and God bless President Trump. You don't like it? Too bad. Vote in 2028, but right now you have no choice. That is your president. But they don't want it that way. And because they don't want it that way, they seemingly will do anything to stop it. What else do I have to share with you before I get to this video? This is pretty good. Talking more to you about people who hate America. Jonathan Turley, big constitutional lawyer, says this: while many Democrat politicians and pundits were positively gleeful about the possible costs, any refunds or policy changes are unlikely to follow anytime soon. Indeed, Trump has ample ability to continue tariffs. One of the other cheering, not just cheering against America winning a hockey gold medal, but cheering against the prosperity of America, hoping that because what the Supreme Court did, it would cripple Trump. Just imagine that. You're actually taking the time, excuse me, hold on. You're taking the time to actively root against the United States. One of the things that I said over the weekend, and I really mean it at this point, is I don't see there any way of reconciling and want to coexist with these people. I don't think you want to coexist with these people. I know they don't want to coexist with us. They want us dead. They want us facing retribution. They will do anything to come after MAGA. It's funny, we're here in the Rumble studio, and one of the things we were talking about earlier is what happens if the Democrats take power. What's wrong? Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. What happens if the Democrats take power? Well, I can tell you what happens. If the Democrats take power, this channel goes away. If Democrats take power, many, many channels that you know go away. They silence us all. They want us not just silenced, they indeed want us gone. So if you're not prepared to fight, I don't know what you're prepared to do to uphold your way of life. I just think that picture we saw in Milan with this hockey team shows us a glimpse that the younger people behind us do indeed want to see America continue the way it's supposed to. I'm going to take a break here, but I don't have anything to take a break with, so let me do this. Hold on. Just going to take a drink in front of you. Mhm. So, in our run here at Rumble, what I have next for you is President Trump did an event this morning, a very important, somber event, very somber. And I want to play that for you now. Let me get it queued up for you. It was a Lake and Riley event, and let me get this. Hold on. Let me get this queued up so you don't have to wait here for a long time. Uh, Take a listen to this.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much. It's a big day. Very important day for me. It should be important for everybody, including the media. They don't really cover it fairly, I will tell you that. Shocking. Please sit down. Thank you. We gathered here today for a truly solemn occasion. Throughout this hall, I am joined by heartbroken Americans who have lost parents, siblings, children, grandchildren, and treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration led in by the past administration. Millions and millions of people from jails, millions and millions of people from countries that we don't want to know about. Drug dealers, murderers, 11,888 murderers were allowed into our country by the Biden administration. These are the angel families that we love, that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored, and I've seen it. When I first got involved with the angel families, I had a meeting. It was so sad. And they got up and spoke, and the media literally just turned off the cameras. They didn't want to hear them. It was my first glimpse as to what was happening. These are sick people that cover stories like that, or that don't cover them, which is worse. Everyone in this room not only suffered an infinite loss, they were the victims of politicians who put the comfort of foreign criminals before the safety of American citizens and American patriots. Their stories were censored and suppressed like maybe almost never before, so that the politicians could open our borders and allow our nation to be invaded. If we didn't win the election, our nation would right now be destroyed. But under the Trump administration, their suffering is forgotten no longer. In just a few moments, I officially sign a proclamation that I've been waiting to sign for a long time, including my first administration. There were so many different legal roadblocks, it was incredible. But we got it done, and I'm doing it today. February 22nd is going to be National Angel Family Day. Very important. So many incredible family members and friends, parents and children. On February 22nd, 2 years ago, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Hope Riley went out for a run on a college campus in Georgia. Laken was viciously attacked, brutally beaten and murdered by an illegal alien gang member who the last administration
heartlessly released into our country. No problems. Let them in. They let in everybody. They didn't check anybody. They let in everybody. Among the first bills I signed into law after taking office last year was the Laken-Riley Act. I'm so proud of it. To ensure illegal alien criminals are rapidly removed from the United States of America, if that's okay with the media. That bill has already been really playing a big role in the life of our country. It's resulted in over 21,000 illegal alien arrests, 21,000. We're joined this morning by Laken's parents, who I have gotten to know. These are incredible people. And I want to ask Laken's mother, Allison, to please come forward and say a few words, please. Hi, Allison. Hi, sweetie.
Well, this is unexpected, but I think that a lot of people feel like that President Trump is maybe different than the version that I've gotten to know. And I just can't thank you enough. You have said from the beginning, literally the day after this happened, that you would not forget about Laken. You weren't president at that time, and you have not forgotten. You have fought a fight that most people would not want to have to fight. Most people wouldn't. They would just say it's just easier not to do this. And President Trump you are doing a thankless job that most people just wouldn't do. And I just can't thank you enough. There are just not enough words to say. Because if you lived the nightmare that we have lived, you understand the importance of the job that he's doing and securing our nation and fighting for our families. Because this could be any family. This happened to my family. This could be any one of your families. And Laken was the most responsible, hardworking, kind, selfless, beautiful Christian. And she wasn't somebody that put herself in bad positions. She didn't make bad choices. She was just a good girl. And she just wanted to go for a run that morning after she'd gotten up at 4 o'clock the morning before to decorate her roommate's door for her birthday. And she did everything for everyone else. She expected nothing in return. She just wanted to be a good friend and a good sister and a good daughter and a hardworking nurse. She was working so hard for. And I'm beyond blessed and thankful that you're honoring not just Laken, because she's one in a ton of people that have suffered at the hands of illegal immigrants. She's not the only one. And so thank you for honoring all of them, not just Laken. And we're just beyond grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's amazing, Allison. You have to go through this. Doesn't get that much easier, does it? Right? Even with time. It's been a while now, and it doesn't get that much easier. But I want to thank you for your incredible courage. We're all courageous in a sense. Everybody in this room is courageous. And we're willing to tell the story. And that, I don't know why the news doesn't want to hear it. The Democrats don't want to hear it. The radical left, they don't want to hear it. What's not to hear? We want to stop murderers and criminals from coming into our country. I watched the mayor of Minneapolis. I watched these people saying, we want to protect murderers. I don't get it. Something sick. They're sick. Can't have a country like that. So we appreciate the bravery of everybody in this room, actually. And Christy, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Tom in particular for, we have a border that's 100% closed now, 100%. So Lakin's story is even more tragic because her death was completely preventable. It shouldn't have happened. Guy should never have been here. Not only should her killer not have been released into our country in the first place, but he was released a second time after being arrested in New York City. Here today is a great gentleman, the police officer who arrested that illegal alien, only to watch him be set free to kill. I mean, he was arrested and they let him go free. They knew he was trouble, big trouble. Many of them are like that. They release him knowing it's going to kill again, but they released him and set him free to kill Lakin. So I'd like to have Ethan Carreri come up, please. He's a great, highly respected police officer, and you could explain what happened. Come on up. Thank you, Ethan. Thank
you. Mr. President, it's an honor to be here today, and it's an honor to be speaking with you guys. My name is Ethan Carreri. I'm a police officer in Palm Beach County, Florida, and a former New York City police officer. While serving the New York City Police Department, I personally arrested Jose Ibarra for endangering the welfare of a child. A few months later, I saw his face again in the news after he viciously murdered Laken Riley. I did my job. I put him in custody. The system failed. No detainer, no accountability, no deportation, and an innocent American life was taken. If you enter our country illegally, there will be consequences under this administration. The American citizens must always come first. To Laken Riley's family, your loss should have never happened. We owe it to you and every American family to enforce our laws, secure our border, and protect innocent lives. Mr. President, thank you so much for having me here today, and thank you for all you've done for our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Thank you very much. I notice you left New York to come to Florida. It's in a way it's too bad, right? But you couldn't take it anymore. They don't let you do your job. But thank you very much, Ethan. Great, highly respected person. I have to do a little checking before I introduce people, otherwise I get in trouble. Sometimes I introduce people and they say, "Sir, did you know this or that?" But you checked out very, very well. Wow. Stories like Laken's are one more reason why my administration will do everything in our power to end the scourge of sanctuary cities once and for all. They protect criminals. Why do people fight? They protect criminals with a vengeance. They fight for these criminals like murderers. They're protecting murderers. They fight for them so hard. There's something wrong with them. We're joined today by so many angel families who are grieving a terrible loss. They've gone through hell. Steve Ronnebeck was the father of 21-year-old Grant Ronnebeck, a beautiful guy, who was shot and murdered by an illegal alien while he was working behind the counter of a convenience store in Arizona. He was working behind the counter. Steve, would you please come forward? We'll talk about your boy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good to see you. You know, I spent some time with President Trump in his first election. President Trump talked about Grant even before he was elected in 2016. And finally, we had hope. We had hope that it was going to end. I was just talking to Secretary Noem that We all sat around a table one day during one of our visits to Washington. And again, the word preventable came up. All these deaths at the hands of illegal immigrants are preventable. They could have been stopped. We could have done so much more, unfortunately, at the hands of an election that we question. Somebody took their foot off the brakes and put their foot on the accelerator to let these people into our country. And it wasn't just regular people, it was criminals, it was murderers, killers, rapists. And now today, we are finally going to see that somebody's going to remember all of our loved ones. They're going to remember the names, and they're going to remember what we've all been through. Thank you, Mr. President.
And think of it, I'm not talking politics, I'm just talking life. If that election, if it wasn't rigged, it was a rigged election by millions and millions of votes. A guy that never left his basement, it was all run by crooked people. COVID was a little bit of a shield. We had a lot of things going on. But it was rigged by millions of votes. We did great in that election. If that election wasn't rigged, every single one of the people in this room right now would not be here. You'd be home with your son, daughter, family. We had a strong border. You know, we solved it twice, Tom. We solved it in 2016. The border was bad. Nothing like it was this time. It was like beautiful compared to this time. This was legendary. In the history of the world, there's never been a border like this where millions of people poured in. At least 25 million people. And many of them were the wrong people. Many. You know, when countries fill up the caravans, they don't fill them up with their finest. I wouldn't. And I would do exactly what they did if the United States would be willing to take all of our criminals and people, or people that don't work. But they are smart people. I got to know most of those leaders. I know them. I said, what are you doing? They said, look, it was a totally open border. They saved hundreds of millions of dollars, and they gave it to us, and we've done a great job. Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, our people, they've been incredible, the job they've done. And they take nothing but abuse, but, you know, they're sort of pretty hardened to that, I think, because they know they're doing the right thing. It just amazes me that there's not more support out there. It's just, we actually have a silent support. I think it's silent. I think it's well, that's how I won. I got probably 85 million votes. They say 78 million, 79 million. They cheated in this election, too. It was just too big to rig. Too big to rig. But they cheated like hell. They can't win on policy. Men and women's sports. We have a new one, though. Voter ID. I think that's as crazy as they won't approve voter ID. They won't approve proof of citizenship. They won't approve no mail-in ballots, even though they know it's crooked as hell. Where the ballots are sent to, in many cases, Democrats. Republicans don't get theirs, and they're calling frantically to get their ballot. A Democrat will get 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7 ballots. And then we're supposed to win. That's what they're good at. They're professional. Cheaters. But we wouldn't be here right now. I'm just thinking as we're going through it, because we've suffered through it together. I suffer for the country. I mean, it's the people I've gotten to know, the mothers and fathers, mostly mothers and fathers. Husbands in some cases, wives in some cases, but mostly mothers and fathers, what they have to go through. Also with us is Marie Vega, the mother of Javier Vega Jr., a retired U.S. Marine and Border Patrol agent, so respected, who was murdered in front of his family by 2 illegal aliens, bad ones, really bad ones. People you could look at them and you could say, trouble. Trying to steal his family's trucks. He wanted to take everything the family had, but the trucks in particular. Marie, please come forward. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
President Trump, on behalf of my family and I, thank you for hosting this beautiful remembrance in honor of our loved ones who were killed by illegal aliens. As you said, August the 3rd, 2014, my husband Javier, my son, Marine and Border Patrol Agent Javier Harvey Vega, his wife, 2 of his sons, and a friend, and I were fishing in Santa Monica, Texas. Within minutes of settling in, we were ambushed by 2 illegal aliens with many priors. Without warning, they jumped out of their stolen vehicle with guns that were not supposed to be in their possession in an attempt to steal 2 four-wheel drive vehicles. While trying to defend us, Harvey was shot in the chest and killed. My husband, Javier Sr., was shot in the back. Remember, you all, children were there fishing with their friends, and they just kept shooting. You could hear the bullets just whizzing past you. Javier Sr. returned fire with this weapon, and I grabbed the AR that Harvey had attempted to defend us with, and I returned fire as well. Had we not fired back, they would have killed everyone there, including the children, so that there wouldn't be any witnesses. And they killed an amazing man, a loving and honorable dad and husband. Thank God we have you in office. Without you, America and the world would not know the consequences of open borders. Thank you for restoring law and order. Thank you for acknowledging us, the angel families. Every day I think of you and the heavy weight of a nation that you carry with you. I can't imagine what it must be like to wake up every morning, work so diligently amid attacks and resistance from the left, to deal with the craziness, the fraud, and the swamp. But you get it done day in and day out, all while finding solutions to making America great again. You absolutely amaze me. Please know that we see it, and we, the masses, your constituents, are behind you 100%. When you were elected the first time, for the first term as president, I remember saying to my boss, this is exactly what this country needed, a businessman. You did an outstanding job then, and although you were cheated out of the second term, by the way, you won that election as well, and we know it. I knew the third term was going to be epic, and here we are, mega. Before I end this, I have to share a sweet story with you about my daddy. He absolutely hated the way people treated you and attacked you. On your 3rd run for office, he said to me, "Mijita," which means my little daughter in Spanish, "can you check to see if I'm up to date and still registered to vote? We need to make sure President Trump gets into office." I said, "Of course, Daddy." And I did, and I checked, and he was registered to vote. We lost a great man, April the 3rd of 2025, and that would be my daddy. Again, thank you for everything. Thank you for backing Border Patrol and ICE and backing these families. Thank you so much. I love you.
So beautiful. You know, I was thinking as you were saying that running again for a 3rd time after having gone through what we went through the 2nd time, which was so horrible, so much cheating, so much deception and viciousness, and you could see what they were going to do. And I'm here now, and it's a much more powerful term than my 2nd term would be. And much more powerful. And one of the reasons is everybody sees how bad they were. And I had to go through, and I still do, fake stories, fake polls. I mean, I had polls for the election that showed I was going to get swamped, and I won in a landslide. They were fake polls because polls are tough. You know, when you get a fake poll, I get them today. I saw one today that I'm at 40%. 40%. I'm not at 40%. I'm at much higher than that. I mean, I'd love to run against anybody. The real polls say you kill everybody. It wouldn't even be close. But you go through the fake polls, you go through the fake stories. And I said, you know, it was good because this is really a much more powerful term than I would have had if I had run, because it was just one of those things. There would be nothing to compare it to. And now they compare it to Biden and that horrible, horrible administration. And I mean it, it is more powerful. Our military is much more powerful. We rebuilt it mostly in the first term. Then they gave away a chunk of it. And as much as it was, it's very small relatively, Tom. But we gave it to the Taliban. Just walked out. We could have taken it with us. They said, oh, I think it's cheaper to leave the planes. Just put a little jet fuel and fly it to a neighbor or fly it right home. Sir, I think it's cheaper. I think we'll save money by leaving a $150 million jet on the runway. These people are crazy. But I said, and I've said to a lot of people, it's much better what happened. But not for you people, it's not. And then I go back and say, but I wish it didn't, because every one of your loved ones would be alive today. Everyone in this room, I think, maybe there's one where it could have sneaked through during our term, but I don't think so. We had a very tough border. We solved it in 2016, and we had a very strong border. I would say nothing is as strong as what we have now, but we had a very strong border. We had a good border. We had a sane border. It was sane. And I say, I like this much better. Much more respect. You know, you read about all these crazy shooters, but they only go after consequential presidents. They don't go after non-consequential presidents, you know. If you take a look, Abraham Lincoln, some big one. John Kennedy, in a certain way, was very consequential. He represented something very important. He was there for 1,000 days, as you know, the book, 1,000 days, but he was consequential. There was a glamour, there was something good for our country, right? But they consequential, and I was told that. I saw that the other day. They said they only go after consequential. So maybe I want to be a little bit less consequential. Can we hold it back a little bit, please, Tom? Can we just, like, nice and easy? Let's be a normal president for a little while. Because we had the greatest first term, I think, of any president in history. A lot of people have said that. Even radical left people have said that. And so it's, you know, but the one problem is that, and every time I say it, I go back to the one thing I said, but we wouldn't have had 25 million people allowed to come into our country, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. And those are the people that destroyed your lives. They destroyed your lives. They wouldn't be there. So I always say I like it better, but there's one thing I don't like better, and that's what they did. Because I think that's the single biggest problem. You know, he gave us inflation, highest inflation we've ever had. I solved that. Right now, inflation's at a very low number. How about gasoline? I was in Iowa, $1.85 a gallon. You know, I solved that. I did a great job with that. Prices are coming way down, and I'll get them down further. But, you know, Christ, no matter. By the way, if I came up with a cure for cancer, they would say, he should have done it years ago. There's not a thing I can do where these people are going to give me credit, and that's okay because we won in a landslide, so the people understand. The people understand. But the one thing that I regret about the election and the process, because it's a much bigger, more important, you look at what we're doing throughout the world, we're respected like we've never been before. But the one thing that I can't do anything about is that he allowed 25 million people, many of these murderers, drug lords, criminals, people from mental institutions. They emptied their mental institutions, Tom, is that right? All over the world, not just in South America. They emptied their jails, many of them from all over the world. Why? Why would we do this? And they walk in, nobody even asked for, like, do you have an identification? Do you have an ID? It's so crazy. You know, the mayor of New York, and he's a very nice person. I met him, but his ideology is not too good. But we're having a massive snowstorm right now. And I've heard that he's asked people to come out and help shovel the snow. Okay, so you get a shovel and you start shoveling, right? What the hell, you're not going to help too much, but you can help. And hello, darling, how are you? Noah, right behind you, look, my friend, right? Are you okay? Yes, you. Are you okay? Are you okay? Good. Good. Are your eyes okay? I gave her money to get her eyes fixed. A lot of money to get her eyes fixed. That doctor ripped me off, but that's okay. And when do you go? Well, you get them done. It's an operation, but it's 100%. You know, it's great. It's Wednesday. Good. You're going to have 20/20 vision. She's almost blind, cataracts. She's almost blind. And with one operation, that'll take a very short period of time. Hope you have a good doctor. He's an expensive doctor, top of the line, right? But you know what? You're going to have 20/20 vision. Because I noticed you're wearing glasses. I saw you yesterday on television wearing glasses, and I said, well, but anyway. But, you know, speaking of your family, it would be a lot different right now, except for the election. So I always say, it's too bad that happened. And if I had it to do again, it's despite the tremendous job we're doing now, I wish it could have been the other way, because we wouldn't even be having this meeting right now. There'd be nobody. I wouldn't have gotten to know you. But it's gotten to know you under very bad circumstances, right? The worst circumstances. So one of those things. But the thing I can't understand is why the press isn't more supportive. They're so dishonest. The stories, the polls, they poll you. They say, oh, the angel moms. I think the angel moms are the finest people I've met. I mean, the angel moms and families and dads. But these are unbelievable people. Why are they so angry with angel moms? They had their child killed. Stories that are so horrible, I'm not going to mention. A couple of people are in the room. What they did with the child after they murdered the child. It's not even, and these people are actually on the side of the criminal. I don't get it, Tom. Someday you're going to explain it to me. But I don't think you can either. It's crazy. Laura Wilkerson is another American mom whose 18-year-old son, Joshua was horribly beaten, tortured, and murdered by an illegal alien who went totally crazy and just went to school. And I'd like to ask Laura to come up and say a few words about Joshua. Please. Hi. Another one of my friends. One of my original friends, right?
Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Laura Wilkerson, and I want to thank everybody for their help in gathering us here, the American Border Story and the White House, and all of your helpers. I thank you for that. I met a man about 11 years ago who was running for office, and he sat with us a couple of days, and he watched as the tears rolled down my face as I told him the story of how our youngest son, Joshua, was brutally beaten, tortured, strangled to death, and his body set on fire. The man next to me was President Trump. He never, ever looked away from my pain. He looked me straight in the eye, and he said, I will never forget the story of your sweet son, and I will never give up fighting for the American family. I looked at him and I believed him. And here we are these years later, and you can tell all of the work he's done. He's never missed a day of fighting for the American family. I don't know if I've ever met a man who is more interested in this country and running this country and getting it back in shape. And I'm so grateful for what he does every single day. I can't even pretend to understand the spiritual battles that swirl around the office of the presidency and the man who owns that office. I would ask that God breathe a fresh breath of air through this administration so that he can calm those spiritual battles and allow our president to continue to do the hard work. Jesus works on my family every day, still healing us today. And I am just so incredibly grateful for the man who's in office, who never quits. He is sidelined so many times, but we know the man, Jesus, who can take care of that. And we pray today in his name that he will sweep through this country and make it right again. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you. That's amazing. The words are so beautiful, so beautiful. I get introduced often, and I'm getting introduced by people. In many cases, they hate me. And they don't give me nice introductions like that. But all we're doing is the right thing. It's sort of simple, right? It's sort of simple, and but not simple for you. And that's when I was running, actually. That was before I won. I didn't know if I was going to win or not. I was running against 17 politicians. You knew. That's nice. But no, I never forgot that. Jody Jones is a loving brother whose cherished sibling Rocky was killed by an illegal alien real monster, who went on a deranged crime spree after being released from prison as part of a California sanctuary city policy. Jody, please come up. Thank you.
Well, I have this speech, but I'm not going to give it. What I'm going to tell you is from my heart. I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, first of all, before I do anything. I want to thank the American Border Story, and I absolutely want to thank President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, sir, for putting America first and putting these angel families first and letting everybody know their stories, because we matter. Thank you, sir. My brother Rocky Jones was murdered by a criminal illegal alien. He was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. This man was arrested, released, and within 24 hours, he went on a shooting spree in Central California. Unfortunately, my brother was in the wrong place at the wrong time. This man shot my brother 8 times at point-blank range. I pray that no other family has to go through that. Unfortunately, they will. And just know, President Trump, I want you to know, no matter what the fake media says about you, the American people love you, and we will support you all the time, because we love you. I'm sick and tired of hearing these Democratic politicians stand up on these podiums and say how sorry they are for seeing these criminal illegal aliens being ripped apart from their families. What about us? What about the American family? What about us? We mean something too. And this man right here understands it. I was listening to Grandma Cook, and she said thank you to President Trump. And I love that lady. I don't even know her. I just heard her. I just got the fire inside of me. I'm like, wow, that's an American. I love America. I want you guys to understand this. Americans are not racist. We're not xenophobic because we want a safe America and we want to put Americans first. This man's not racist because he wants to put Americans first. Are you kidding me? I know you guys hear it all the time, but we are not. And I'm going to tell you something. I love America. I love Donald Trump. I love my family, and by gosh, I love America. Thank you very much, Donald Trump. President Trump, you are the man. You are the man. I want to say this. I'm going to end here. I want to say this. I love my country. God bless you. God bless Donald Trump, and God bless America.
thank you very much. It's incredible. I want to now introduce somebody that I get to know pretty well. We just had a little discussion. Wonderful mothers, Patty Morin, who lost her beautiful daughter Rachel, and Tammy Nobles, who lost her daughter Kayla. Your daughters would be unbelievably proud, and they are as they look down. I'm sure they're looking down. And they'd be very proud of you, and they're thanking you right now for your courage. You've gone through a lot. Know you. And I just have to recognize some of the families. I mean, the families that are here this morning, I know many of them, not all of them. And you know, it grows at a pretty strong level, nothing like it was in the past. You remember when, during the campaign, Biden would say, and then I guess Kamala, it's the same thing. Same ideology, same level of intelligence, I think. But she would say, and he would say, no, it's wonderful to have the people come into our country. These are fine people, these are nice people, and they don't commit crime. And I called Tom home and I said, what's the story on that? Because I think they're really violent. And Tom would say, these are the most violent people in the world. They're coming in. These make I remember you said, these make our criminals look like choir boys. And you know what? You were right. You were right. But I want to thank those two people because what they went through. And I want to recognize all of the families here this morning who have lost loved ones, a lot of families. Thousands are not here, and they're feeling just the way you do, sad. And continue to fight. You know, they say time helps, but I've seen some people, and the time isn't not helping that much. Time, they say, it heals all wounds, but it's not. Do you feel better now or the same? You know, you got to feel a little bit better. You got to let it. But it's not like the phrase, wonderful phrase, time heals, like everything's going to. Excuse me? Yeah, I know. We'll continue to fight, though, and we'll stop this horrible situation, and we have stopped a lot of it. A big thing, you know, you saw that murders are down for the most in 125 years. This before my father was born in 1905. 5 years before my father was born. My father was great. But so in 1900, 125 years, the murders, the lowest rate. You know why? Because I closed the borders, and we got a lot of people out. It's not just closing, we got a lot of people out. Washington, D.C. is now a safe place. We don't want to close the borders with them in here. We got a lot of them out, and we got many of the worst ones out. We go for them first. But I want to conclude by reading part of a letter I received earlier this year from two heartbroken grandparents who will never again see their 8-year-old granddaughter after an illegal alien ran her over with his truck purposely. They wrote to me, we are hurting so badly, and now know that the hurting in our family will never go away. It never, ever will go away. We're not seeking notoriety. We don't care about press coverage, but we do want our girl to be remembered. We want people to actually know how preventable this murder was. And lastly, we want the American government to be accountable to its citizens. True, they should be accountable for what they did. That's my administration, and I will tell you, fighting, and we're fighting so hard. All of them, everybody together is fighting. We're putting American citizens first. We're defending American lives, and we're fighting for every angel family. Angel families are beautiful families. They're beautiful families. That was my first, early on when we first met, that was my first, I didn't know about angel families, you know. I never did this before, right? I was building buildings and things. But I said, I can't believe it. My first meeting, they were so angry at the press, at a mom who lost her daughter so violently, right? You might have been there. The first meeting, I said, this is strange. What's going on? It was anger from the fake news. But the angel families, I realized very early on, I never changed. I could see how you'd change, though. You know, you have to go through this stuff. But Never changed. I thought they were among the greatest people I've ever met. I've met the heads of countries. A lot of them aren't so nice, but, you know, they do have some power. And we've done very well with all of those people. But among the finest people I've ever met are the people in this room and many people outside of this room. I know many, many more than just in the room. But we restored our border, and that's now totally secure, and our country is at the safest level it's been in many, many years. How could anyone possibly say we want open borders, knowing, especially, let's say you did that because you're foolish or stupid or something, and you did it, but after a couple of weeks, you're going to know that the people coming here, if you're running a country, you want to send your bad people out. That was the way I looked at it. I didn't know anything about it. I ran for office, but I have a lot of sense. And I said, well, open borders is no good because if I'm running the country nearby or far away, I had no idea how far away. They came from the Congo in Africa. They came from all of, not just South America. Congo let vast numbers, hundreds and hundreds, and probably thousands of people out of jail. They brought them through Mexico and they dropped them into our country. But you would say that common sense, well, and I said it right from almost the first day. I said, how can you have an open border? All the countries are going to be dropping their prisoners into us. That's exactly what happened, and mental patients and others. So we have a country that's now doing well. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We have the most activity we've ever had. I'm making a speech tomorrow night, and you'll be hearing me say that. I mean, it's going to be a long speech because we have so much to talk about. But Americans like Lakin and Grant and Javier, Joshua, Rocky, Rachel, Kayla, these are great people, and we're never going to forget them. I'll never forget them. I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them. And I just think you're among the most brave people. I meet a lot of brave people. I meet warriors. I give out congressional medals of honor where people recommend, like these two in front of me who are so wonderful, but they recommend, and I meet the greatest people. But this is a group of people that for whatever reason I just feel maybe the warmest about. So at least you have one friend, and we don't understand why you don't have many, and maybe you will. I don't know. So I'm going to go sign the proclamation, and then we're going to sit in the audience. I'm going to sit with you for the reading of the victims' names, and I'll then depart to a song sung by our incredible, talented military, Amazing Grace. Okay? Sound good? Now, we could have some of the families come up, some of the people come up. You know who you are. And come on, you can stand around me. I don't use an auto pen, so you can watch me actually sign it. Okay. We'll do this the right way. Do you have... I want to give coins to the family, okay? Could
I had one for you, and I couldn't bring anything inside.
I know, Secret Service. Well, you'll get it to me.
Say hi to Trump.
Emma?
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, sweetheart.
Little Emma.
Oh, hi, Emma.
Little Kella.
Very good, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready, Emma? We're going to sign this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You take care of yourself. You can hold that. At least for a little while before.
I'm not taking it.
Thank you. So let's do this candle lighting, and it's very beautiful. Please.
My daughter's member.
Please welcome everybody to their seats. Don't leave, but get your Kleenex out for sure.
Thank you very much.
I can't tell you how much I love
Take care
you.
of yourself, okay?
This is Tyler.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We will now light a candle in honor of the victims and in solidarity with their families. Following the lighting of the candle, the names of the victims will be read aloud so that their memory may be honored.
Katie Abraham, Chad Eistrup, Austin Babcock, Megan Elizabeth Ida Boz, Jesse Bird, Liam Cantu, Michael Clayton, Gail Clayton, Sander Cohen, Piers Corcoran, Ronald De Silva, Jackson Davis, Christopher James De Leon, Joseph Di Tommaso, Marshall Dova, Brady English, Shaylee Estes, Lacey Marie Ferguson, Maura Garrity, Tristan Gray, Kayla Hamilton, Aaron Joshua Hampton, Brady Heiling, Susan Hine, Haley Helgeson, Kyler Holbein, Gregory Hamala, Gabriel Kaleshi Isiguzo Jr., Rocky Paul Jones, Shane Jones, Stephanie Kaufman, Haley King, Amy Courtlang, Ryan White, Brian Moss, Robert Mopin, Lisbeth Medina, Brandon Mendoza, Brandon Michael, Dominic Montoya, Jonathan Moody Jr., Reuben Morfin, Rachel Morin, Krisha Odette, Nikolay Osokin, Rocco Pitrow, Lakin Riley, Grant Ronnebeck, Matthew Russell, Kayla Santiago, Danielle Nikki Shermock, Fred Schlosser, Tiara Stansberry, Kate Steinley, Joseph Story, Timmy Tarnowski, Brian Terry, Anya Varfolomeyev, Javier Vega Jr., Joshua Aaron Wilkerson, Carlos Wolf, Joseph Zhang Jr.,
Well, just to let you know, CNN, MSNBC, whatever they're called, they both refuse to even show that. They don't even want Americans to see the dead being honored because of their deaths being at the hands of illegal aliens. In addition to that, you guys can take this as bad news or take it as good news, either way. The U.S. women's hockey team has declined to come to the State of the Union tomorrow. You know, it's funny when people announced and it became news that the guys were invited, I pretty much knew the ladies weren't going to show up. And you may ask me, why did I have a good feeling the ladies' women's hockey team wasn't going to show up? Ashley's looking at me. Don't say it. I think you have a good idea why the women's hockey team doesn't want to come to the White House. And it's they'll never say it, or some of them may say it. You don't want me to say it, Ashley? Should I not say it? Because you know what most of them probably are like. I don't want to convict anybody if they're not, but they don't find him to be friends to the the LGBTQISIIPPI agenda. So, but let's hoping that the men show up tomorrow. It's amazing. I'm scrolling through X, and those are the two biggest things that just jumped off the page to me is that the ladies didn't want to show up. Meanwhile, the guys landed in Miami, and their plane got a what do you call those things? Those turbojets that they got air water cannons shot over their planes, and Matthew Tkachuk, who plays for the Florida Panthers, I mean they are so exuberant, so proud of America, so wanting to be a part of the State of the Union tomorrow. But the women, nope, not so much. We're not going. So I don't know, maybe Megan Rapinoe made them a call or something. But see, there's something wrong. Like President Trump said today, there's something wrong with the left. They've been broken. They've completely decided that the lifestyles that they want to live and telling boys to chop their junk off and tell girls to do the same is more important. They don't want the toxic masculinity that we've seen displayed over the last couple of days. Everything from Pete, I mean, they were even saying that Pete Hegseth was fraudulent, that he put on fake plates to bench. They can't even understand that men do these type of things. It's unbelievable. Well, anyway, tomorrow night, 7:30, I think, or so, 7:30 or 8, we will go live with our State of the Union coverage. We did our test run here. Ashley's been taking notes on things we've got to fix for tomorrow, and we'll get them fixed. And also tomorrow we are going to be in Congress with our media room, so we're going to be out there. So we'll do that between 11:03. Won't be broadcasting live, but we have a whole film crew. We hired a film crew to come out there so I can ask these people the 5 questions that we decided to ask them. So we're going to be there from 11 till 3 o'clock or so. Then we got to come back, get changed, grab some dinner, come back over here to invade Rumble and do the State of the Union. And then Wednesday, we're at the White House, baby. So a lot of stuff being crammed in here. I'm glad everything worked out. We got through the show today. I'm not able, anybody who put a super chat, thank you very, very much from the bottom of our heart. I can't show them because we're just not set up for that yet. It'll be set up tomorrow. We'll make sure everything is fully functional and everything else. While the show was going on, I was able to get the after party put together. So what I'm going to segue into is I'm going to play the after party and see if I can't chat with some of you guys as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, helping us get all the, not all, but most of the kinks worked out. Like, thank you to these guys, Rumble. Rumble has allowed us to come into their studios and broadcast live from Washington, D.C. So Ashley and I are going to get everything done, bundle up, head back out to the frozen tundra of Washington, D.C. go have dinner, and then work on everything for tomorrow. And I'm probably going to have some, some behind the scenes videos that I took with my GoPro, and I'll post those probably on X as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. Can't wait to be at the Congressional Hall and meeting. I don't even know what did she say? Like 100 people were coming through. It's like 100 people are going to be coming through. I don't know how many of them will be brave enough to sit with us, but we shall see. All right. Thank you, guys.
you.